Hello and welcome to Chart of the Day Cafe for Tuesday, January 26, 2016. Just going to read our disclaimer quickly. Trading stocks is a high level of risk and viewers should complete their own due diligence on any stock or underlying that they intend to own. 100% of the content of this video and communique is intended for journalistic and educational purposes only. This video and all indicators, strategies, and articles herein should not be construed as investment advice. Thank you for your patience with that. So as always, we start our videos off with a look at the Russell Index. We use the Russell as a simple proxy for overall market health, strength, and direction. So normally we look at the 2-year weekly chart, but because of the severe price action lately, we're pulling it back to the 5-year monthly. I really think it's worth getting that perspective. So as you can see, the Russell traded up through all of 2013. Sideways through 14, had a slight breakout to the upside in early 2015, and then all of the severe price action has brought us way back down here. So I'm filming this at about 9 a.m. on Tuesday morning. We're sitting here right now, well below the bottom blue channel line that we were keeping an eye on, so real caution is advised. Having said that, interesting things to note for the day ahead. Shanghai was off significantly last night. Like it closed down over 6.5%. That is a walloping number. What I find interesting is that the North American markets, although struggling a little bit this morning, seem to want to open in the green slightly. Whether that holds through the day, I do not know. But the fact that they're even slightly green after that big sell-off in Shanghai is interesting. So maybe the markets are forming a little tiny bit of a base of the beginning of some support here. Who knows, but I just find that interesting. Also oil, as I mentioned last week in my videos, the two things I'm looking for the market to start to show a little bit of strength over here in North America would be the Asian markets to start finding their footing, which they have not yet, all of that sell-off last night, and oil to find some sort of a base or floor. And so far oil looks a little perky this morning, so we've got one but not the other, so we'll see how it goes. This is the 5-year monthly chart of the Russell. I'm going to pull it into the daily so we can better see price action and the way it's behaving here. So we had that nice doji day. That was from our video on, I think it was Thursday, Friday, no, that was Wednesday. Sorry, this was Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yesterday sold back off and coming into this minor area of support. So you know, at Chart of the Day Cafe, it's all about price being up and over that blue line, but there's a little bit of back and forth going on in all of the indexes like this that suggests that perhaps there's a little bit of a base starting to form here, especially when you look at them on the weekly time frame. So there's that, you know, big candle from last week with some interesting volume coming in. Look at the S&P, same kind of thing. The Dow. These are all the weekly charts. QQQ, technology. So technology, based on the look of the candle from last week, you know, is looking, of all of the, none of the sectors look really strong right now, but that's an interesting candle. Technology looks like, of all the weakness in the market, maybe there's some strength coming into technology. Apple's announcing its earnings. Will that be enough to move technology up and away from this area of support? Who knows? The other sector worth looking at is consumer discretionary. A nice bullish candle from last week as well. So we are not putting any new charts forward this morning. The charts that I wanted to go over, past Chart of the Day Cafe picks, should the market start to find some footing here. I highlighted them last week, but I'll highlight them again this morning. eBay, really interesting chart. Love this chart. And still has that value score I always look for at Chart of the Day Cafe. Value and growth. So eBay's value score is 1.43 on a scale of 1 to 2. That's good. Nice chart. I'll show it to you on the daily time frame. So you can really see these wedges. When these wedges form, price gets pressured and then it explodes to the upside. There's a little bit of a wedge here forming on eBay. It has been trying to break out, but it's retesting the upside of this trend line here. So I wouldn't be too surprised to see eBay start to lift and form a nice candle on the day, either today or tomorrow, should the markets start to firm up. And again, at Chart of the Day Cafe, it's all about price being up and over this blue line, which is the 8-day EMA. So you can define a really nice area of support here with this trend line here. A nice bullish candle if we get one. Not making any recommendations whatsoever, just doing a little chart analysis here. And price being up and over that 8-day EMA. So eBay continues to be a nice looking chart, at least to me. ICE Intercontinental Exchange, the same thing. I wanted to remind you on the 2-year weekly chart of the base that it had through all of this time frame. We're looking at the 2-year weekly chart. Beautiful, beautiful base, breaks out to the upside with increasing volume. And again, we're looking at this big wedge on the weekly time frame. I will pull it into the daily so you can really see the trend line here, the wedge, the price pressure. ICE Intercontinental Exchange trying to break out. Nice bullish candle here. This was yesterday. So if we continue or see some strength in this chart with price moving up and through the 8-day EMA outside of this trend line, I think that would be interesting because you can really define your risk in there. And again, ICE growth in value has a score of 1.42 on a scale of 1 to 2. The other one, of course, is Apple, which is announcing earnings. I tend to stay away from things that are announcing earnings, but I think it's an interesting chart. And Apple is a prior Chart of the Day Cafe pick. So nice bullish candle last week. The volume is starting to come in. It's trading in this wedge. Might be interesting to keep an eye on Apple. Again, it's always about price being up and over that blue line and a nice continuation. So base and a continuation up and out would be what I would be looking for. So with that, I will leave you and we'll be putting out a video on Thursday. Hope you have a successful and profitable next couple of days, and we'll see you Thursday.